Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly. We got a lot of court news today, which is why I don't play in court. Jesse Williams has been ordered to appear for an in-person deposition, and for once, this isn't about his ex-wife, Erin. Apparently, he was in a car accident in 2020 with a woman named Paula Bruce. Now, he didn't want to go in person because he's afraid of the vi-vi. However, you were fine being nude and maskless in a Broadway theater for weeks on end. See, you just needed to show up. You just needed to show up. If you wanted to be, concerned about the vi-vi, I understand. But you were nude in a theater. I mean, the virus could have gotten in anywhere. Boy, bye. Child, the woman claims he fled the scene after saying his name was August Moon, the name of his production company. Girl, this is some Jussie stuff. Jesse, don't get Jussie with it now. Giving out fake names, Jussie did that with his brother. She wants 1.6 for the hit and run. Well, maybe if she had known you were Jesse Williams, you might not be in this mess. Child, his plate don't end its run till June, so you still gonna be nude and maskless. He's like, look, I can only be nude and maskless at work. Can't we do the depot over Zoom? No, they want to see it in person like they do on Broadway. Now, last month, a judge ruled that Kel Mitchell didn't owe any back child support to his ex-wife. But apparently, she is still going after his assets and has put a lien on the joint accounts he has with his new wife, Asia, so now she gotta go to court to get the liens off. I ain't never getting married, y'all. I ain't never getting married. I'ma find love. I'ma find me some love. But it seems just like a bunch of legal bills. It seems like a trap. Now we have Shakira's ex-husband, and he's trying it. After his split with Shakira, he's still doing what he wants. Well, you were doing what you wanted all through the marriage. You was cheating left, right, and sideways. So, of course, you're still doing what you want. It was the fact that you were doing what you wanted in the merge that was the issue. But then you gone saying, this is the sneaky little shit. I'm just trying to protect my children. And what are you trying to protect your children from? Your tax fraud ass wife. That's what. You see, whenever a woman gets in legal trouble, that's when you really give the father a chance to come out looking good, and that's never good. Like British. Now, British is married to a piece of shit, but because he's not up for felony charges right now, that's the better parent. I wouldn't let my kids be with Shakira either. I'm like, no, you can have access to their Social Security. I don't want them caught up in the fraud. I mean, and she's facing 11 years in Spanish prison for 31 million or 14 million in tax evasion. That's big felony. That's big fraud. But I know Gerald ain't shit. I know he ain't shit. But since he's not the felon, he's the better parent. Lord, and if Shakira end up in the who's cow, them kids is going to be raised by a step-parent. Remember step-parent? That sternly worded letter to Alicia Keys, step-parents should keep their opinions to themselves about what the parents have agreed upon. The step-parent. Oh my God, you can just hear step-parent. Like you can hear the clench of the teeth when people say, oh, we're co-parenting. We're co-parenting. I can't stand this. Co-parent. Co-parent. People magazine, I need you to work on your headlines. Patrick Dempsey says his Malibu home is in chaos amid renovations. What the hell else is your home amid renovations? What else is your home doing but in chaos? You at least have the money to finish it. Gabrice's barn is still unfinished 8 years later. That show gonna go off the air. She's still gonna be with a hammer and nail. Diane Keaton is happily single at 77, and it's highly unlikely she'll date again. You're a lesbian. You're a lesbian. We know about your secret woman. We know. We know. You ain't gonna date a man again. Let's tell it all. Let's tell it all. Because back in New York, I knew your downstairs neighbor heifer. I knew him. You used to throw loud parties with your secret wife. I knew. I was actually there one night. We heard you, heifer. Loud as you please. And Diane, you look good for your age. You look like a well-preserved lesbian. So enjoy your lesbian life. Just come on out. Come on out. Now, this is an allegedly show, but Now, this is just, one, this is white people, white peopling. But two, to me, this was just the most desperate article ever written. Like, just the undertones. The article is titled, Jana Kramer says she was ghosted by Chris Evans after he smelled her asparagus pea on a date. Now, she's 38, but the story takes place 10 years ago. You talking about some dick you got 10 years ago? Already, that's a fail. Already, that is a fail. It's a fail. It wasn't a relationship. It was some dick you got 10 years ago. But let's get to it. The they use that word so loosely now. The Star reveals that she met Evans at a club when she was 26, and they went on a few dates more than 10 years ago. He was definitely known. He wasn't Captain America, but he was the heartthrob cutie. I can't remember how many dates it was. I just remember the last date. That was probably the first date. Kramer said one night the Gray Man star invited her to his home in the Studio City neighborhood of Los Angeles to hang out with his friends. It was a fun time, but I was getting a little sleepy and I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. And I had asparagus for dinner that night, so I went to the bathroom and he immediately went after me. And that was the last interaction I remember, is him going into the bathroom after I went with the asparagus pea. I wasn't just asparagus pea. You know how y'all don't do. You don't wash your legs. You don't wash your ass. You don't wash your hair. Your ass had been stinking. And then he went in that bathroom after you and realized the level of funk your femininity had going on and said, dang, this heifer can't even drink enough water. She said she never heard from him again after leaving the next day, calling it the asparagus walk of shame. So you ain't even getting no dick. I don't remember cuddling that night. Damn, yeah, you ain't getting no dick. You ain't getting no dick. Ooh, Lord. When a man pass on puss, it's over. It's over. But then it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay, you had an embarrassing story, even though it's more embarrassing that you're talking about a guy you dated 10 years ago. This is a story you tell your friends. This is a friend story, not People magazine on a random Friday. However, she said she DM'd him about a year ago, but never admitted whether he responded. He blocked your ass. He blocked your stank ass. I can't. And then you're going to tell people, I waited 10 years and shot my shot, and he can still smell me through the phone. Jamal lives in the phone. Chris Evans can smell you through the phone. That's some shit. People need to hear themselves when they talk, because there's just some things you don't need to tell people. Some things you don't need to rehash. Some things, take it to the grave. Maybe if it had been 30 years and you were going over your career of Hollywood loves and losses, that would have been a cute little blurb in your book. But child, you let people make money off you for no good reason. Didn't promote Project to First. All we talk about is how your piss stank and how men don't want you. Oh, she was able to get married, but her man divorced her. Probably couldn't deal with the smells. Her husband was cute, but no Chris Evans. No Chris Evans. I mean, I wouldn't kick him out of bed. But that's no Chris Evans. That's a downgrade. Actually, that's more your speed. That's what you should be matched with. He's honestly a little too tall for you. Oh, she's a country singer. That's why she looks so haggard. Because most country singers look rode hard and put up wet. I mean, and let me rephrase this. If one of us had dated Chris Evans years ago and we're, normal, non-famous people, that's different. That's a story you tell. When you're famous, when you're a country singer, when your husband's supposed to be famous, you're at award shows, when you're in that bubble, it should not be that big of a deal. It's like if we wear an Hermes, wow, that's special. How'd you get that? When a housewives wears it, it's what you should have on. In other court news, Taxstone has been found guilty of shooting and killing Troy Ave's bodyguard. And if you saw that video, he should have been under the jail. This incident happened in 2016. It is 2023. Why has it taken 10 years? 10 years. I mean, all the money you wasted on lawyers and you still ain't gonna see the light of day. He'll be sentenced next month, but that scene was very chilling. I actually went to that club a couple of times, and I like to come home, with no holes in my clothes, no tears, no bullet holes. I'm trying to keep this whole body thing together, and I don't like people out there just trying to put holes in people for no good reason. I bet you 8 years later, y'all can't remember what that argument was about, but it sure messed up your lives. Lori. Now, I love you, because you be doing the bending. But this is getting rather obvious. I mean, every time you're with one of these questionable young men, and we all know what question we ask and who's topping and why they bottoming, but the second the project is over, you're in the wind. The payment is transferred and you move on. It's getting very, very see-through, much like your clothing. If you really want us to believe that these men are heterosexual, you're going to have to be with them longer than the duration of the press run. But child, after that press run, honey, they run right to some bus. Lori, basically what I'm saying is, your relationship should not make the audience break out into a chorus of who's pegging who? You're strutting with your sissy with matching purses. Who's pegging who? He's gonna take that dildo, baby. Who's pegging who? That's not what we should be singing. We should not be seeing y'all walk down the street and wonder who's pegging who? Who's taking it tonight? And most of the girls you're with don't even give a verse T. They give a very clean heel, if you know what I mean. But I mean, hey, honey, it's a living, and it's nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you lie about these men being interested in you romantically. Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly, allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly. Allegedly.